Hi, I'm Bernie Hayes. Today's guest is Dr. Ray. Her name is Rachel Rivers, and she's the author of a brand new book called Love Yourself, Love Your Life. All today on The Bernie Hayes Show. And welcome back. As I promised you, my guest is Dr. Rachel Rivers. She's an author, and she has two great books we want to talk about today, but most of all, her latest book. And Dr. Ray, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Mr. Hayes.
Rachel Ray, and you call yourself Dr. Ray. Why is that?
Dr. Ray, I am the love doctor. I am a love coach. And so my message is just to be able to help people to learn how to better love themselves in order to prepare for relationships. A lot of people, friends and family, they come to me asking me for relationship advice. I'm single, and so I don't want to tell people about how to be in a relationship, but I want them to love themselves so that they can have healthier relationships.
And what do you mean by love themselves? Love what's about themselves, love their character, love their background, love their religion, exactly what? Everything about yourself. I had to take this journey for myself. It's a lifelong journey, and it almost sounds generic, love yourself, but it's how are you loving yourself? Okay. And you wrote the book. The latest book is Love Yourself, Love Your Life. And how did you come up with that title?
Wow, the title came from a workshop that I put on 2 years ago. It was the Self-Love Workshop. And again, no one has to tell you to love yourself. We automatically know that, even as children. And so I just came up with this title because I wanted to motivate people, and it came, again, from the workshop. Loving yourself, love your life. If I can really be in right relationship with myself and love myself, then I would start to love my life better. And that's actually what I've walked through from my own experience.
Okay. You published 2 books. This is your second book, Journey to Self, Journey to Love. And tell us about that book. Journey
to Self, Journey to Love. It started off as a blog. It's my first book. It's short stories and poems. And when blogging became popular, this was around 2010, 2009, I would post on the internet about my dating experiences and how I was feeling about myself.
Okay.
And so Love Yourself, Love Your Life is the follow-up to Journey to Self, Journey to Love, because in the first book, I'm telling women, men too, but more so it's geared towards women, to love yourself before getting into a relationship with a man. And so with Love Yourself, Love Your Life, I'm not just saying love yourself, I'm telling you how to love yourself.
Okay, and you have several chapters. First of all, tell us how to reach you and how to get the book.
I can be reached at www.rachelrivers.com.
Okay, say it just a little bit slower, so in case you miss a moment, write it down.
Okay, rachelrivers.com, and that's Rachel with an E.
Okay, and you have a website?
That's my website, yes. My email address is Dr. Ray, that's dr.rae31@gmail.com.
Okay, and you have several chapters in here, Love Yourself, Love Your Life. Tell us what that chapter is about. It says Love Yourself and God.
Yes, Love Yourself, Love Your Life is actually broken down into 3 sections.
Okay.
And so the first section, Love Yourself, Love Your Life, more so talks about what is your life's purpose.
Okay.
Loving yourself and God, because you have to have, for me, I have to have a relationship with God. I'm just, to gain an understanding of why am I here. I always grew up as I grew up in the Catholic Church, spiritual, and also, learning from my mother, from my parents, from my grandmother, to have a relationship with God.
What is your I am? That's kind of a strange title.
What is your I am? In that section, I break down the word am. The word am means to be. So anything that I attach to the word am, I actually bring that into my life.
Okay.
So what is your I am? You can say I am happy. I am sad. And that's powerful when you start speaking words over your life.
Okay. So is this addressed to the African American community or the community at large or to everybody?
This message is universal.
Okay.
I definitely want to be able to get this message into the African American community. Because this book is also about loving yourself and self-love healing. Healing from past hurts, healing from past relationships, misfortunes, and we can get more into that later because this really is truly my life's work and my story. Because when I first moved back to St. Louis in 2011, I had a really hard time trying to gain employment after obtaining my graduate degrees. And so, no, this message is for everyone.
Okay. You know, El-Haj Malik El-Shabazz, known as Malcolm X, he says the African American community has a problem with self-hatred. He says you can't hate the tree without hating the roots. And I assume this is telling everybody you are worthy. You can love yourself.
Yes.
Is that the purpose of this book?
Yes. Loving yourself no matter what you've been through, no matter what happens, you have to love yourself in order to feel as though you have a purpose in life. Because when I was going through it and not being able to obtain, certain jobs and even going through it with unhealthy relationships, my confidence dropped.
So you started doubting yourself?
Yes, I started doubting myself. I couldn't understand why, I had obtained my master's, I have an educational specialist degree. I went on hundreds of interviews at major universities here in Missouri as well as Illinois, but I was just unable to obtain those jobs. But all along, I had the first book, which released in 2011 as well.
Sure.
But I didn't know that this could really be my job. And so I was doubting myself even with that because I really released it as a fun project. I didn't know that this was going to become my life's work, just to be able to inspire people.
How did you overcome that, the lack of self-confidence?
It's a process. It was a process. I have exercises that I've created in this book that I've actually had to do, questions that I've asked myself. What is my purpose? What's giving me joy? And I feel like God just kept bringing me back to my book, the message inside of me, and sharing that with others. That's how I was able to overcome. I would work a job and quit a job because there were jobs that were not fulfilling for me.
Okay, you have these advanced degrees.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about you and what drove you to seek education, first of all.
Well, my family, my parents, my mother, I grew up, it wasn't a question of whether or not I was going to college.
You knew you were going to college.
Yes.
If you lived, you were going to college.
Right. She said, oh, you're going to college. It's not a question. I graduated high school here from Rosati Kane High School.
Okay.
And then I went over to Langston University. It's a historically black college in Oklahoma.
Right.
And I loved it out there. I had plenty of mentors and advisors, a lot of friends, and they pushed me. They saw something in me that I was running from, just being a smart person, trying to fit in socially.
Sure. Yeah.
And so they just continued to push me. They said, you should go all the way for your PhD. Wasn't thinking about a PhD until my mentors started telling me to go for it. So after I left Oklahoma, I was there, I obtained my bachelor's and my master's from Langston. My bachelor's is in business and my master's is in urban education. So I just kept going to school. I worked some, while I was working on my master's at the university, teaching adults, teaching professors how to use the new technologies. And so that was fun, but I still didn't really understand that this is really what I'm supposed to do, teaching. So I went over to the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville to pursue a PhD. However, I didn't complete with the PhD. So that's another part of the story.
Okay.
I was able to finish with my educational specialist degree in curriculum and instruction. And again, so once I've been released back to society, moving back to St. Louis, I'm like, what am I going to do with this degree? I didn't know. I didn't even know what I was supposed to do with that. I did some substitute teaching in the K through 12 schools here in St. Louis.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
But I still didn't get it. I'm like, God is trying to tell me something.
Okay.
I'm supposed to be working with the youth, but I'm trying to get back into working in higher education, which is, that's where my interviews were, the jobs that I wasn't getting. And so I wasn't getting it, but now I get it. Now I get it.
Right. Our guest is Dr. Ray, actually Rachel Ray Rivers. Ray Rivers. Dr. Rachel Rivers is my guest, and we're talking about self-love. She has two wonderful books out, Journey to Self, Journey to Love, and the latest book, Love Yourself, Love Your Life. And we're here at the New Life Evangelistic Center, 1411 Locust Street, downtown St. Louis, Missouri. And our name is New Life. And that's what it provides for so many people, new life and new hope, new spirituality. And we need your help and support because there's an attack on the New Life Evangelistic Center trying to reduce the number of beds from 300 down to 32. We need your help and support just to fight these issues. And you can help us through tax-free donation at Post Office Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri 63166, or you may do it online at New Life Evangelistic Center. That's one word, newlifeevangelisticcenter.org. And I keep emphasizing new life because that's what you provide for so many people. Back with Dr. Ray after this. My guest is Dr. Ray, Rachel Rivers, and she's the author of two wonderful books, Journey to Self, Journey to Love, and also her latest rendition, the latest authorization is Love Yourself, Love Your Life. Dr. Ray, Rachel Rivers. And did you find any obstacles? You've got some advanced degrees. Did you find any challenges by being an African-American female?
You know, at times I questioned my education because some of the interviews and some of the jobs that I was going for, I knew that I was overqualified for or qualified for. And so no one ever just told me, you know, why I wasn't getting those jobs. And I didn't go back and ask those employers. But I do know that I had more education than some of the people who were interviewing me. And so I started to feel like, what's wrong with me? You know, that maybe those people were intimidated. I don't have a way of proving that.
Sure.
But, you know, once again, I took jobs that were minimum wage, and nothing against that, but it seemed, and I thought something's wrong with me being an educated young woman and not being able to, you know, get a job that would pay me for my education.
Okay. There's so many questions I have for you and so many things. But first of all, how can we get the book? And who should get it?
Oh, wow. Well, first, the book is available on Amazon for Kindle as well, for people who use Kindle. But they can also get their signed copy directly from my website.
Okay, and their website is?
www.rachelrivers.com, and that's Rachel with an E.
And also there's an email, right?
Yes, it's dr.rae31@gmail.com.
Okay, so they can reach you at either one of those sites.
Yes.
And they can also get you have some book signings coming, and if people want to get you for a book signing or for a personal appearance or a guest speaker, they can also reach you through those sites?
Yes, they can reach me through those sites. And also I have some workshops coming up as well.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Now, you says a self-love toolkit, items you need for your personal self-paced, self-love healing process include a pen and pencil, a journal or notebook paper, some quiet time away from distractions such as TV and internet, friends, family, and our work, your favorite music, something soothing and relaxing, sea salt, bath salts, and other bulbs. Tell us about this toolkit.
Again, I don't give any advice that I haven't used for myself.
Okay.
When I was going through my process of healing, because you see on the books, there's two different people.
Sure.
People think, they're like, who is this? These are both me.
Both of you, okay.
The first picture was when I was at the University of Arkansas in graduate school. And you know about that, being in school and eating, and I was dating this guy, and he broke up with me, and I just kept eating.
You kind of fell back on that, right?
I did, and so it didn't mean that I did.
Charlie Brown blanket.
Yes.
Or whatever.
Yeah, ice cream and just eating and stress with school, and so I wanted to reverse this process.
Okay.
You know, I was still happy. However, I wanted to find my happy weight. And so I took a personal challenge and I changed my diet in 2010.
Okay.
And I learned how to eat better.
Okay, so that was you challenging yourself.
Yes, one of my girlfriends at the time, she had just become a vegan in 2010. This picture was actually taken in 2009, my book released in 2011. So I was vegetarian for a whole year, from 2010 until 2011, and I lost almost like 40 pounds.
Wow. On page 73, it says self-love prayer. Well, would you Recite that for us.
Yes.
Please, your self-love prayer.
Self-love prayer. Almighty creator of the universe and creator of me, teach me how to better love myself. Show me that the state of my love life is in your divine order. Help me to learn how to be loving despite others' actions, non-actions, and reactions. Fill me with your love today and always. Allow me to radiate with love in all that I think, say, and do, for I am love, just like you. Amen.
So you believe in the power of prayer.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Yes, I do believe in the power of prayer, and I believe that that is how I'm able to continue and wake up and go every day. I know, I feel that I have been healed from past relationships and hurts. You know, wanting to be in a relationship with people who did not want to be with me or didn't mean any good for me, and so I had to make it through that, through the power of prayer, and just remembering to check in with myself and check in with God and love myself.
Is there, in particular, age demographic you're designing this for, or is it for everybody, or for whom?
Okay, this book, it's for young people, it's for singles, and you know, young people trying to figure out, college students, what am I really going to do with my life? I don't want them to waste their 4 years and get student loan debt, and so I'm definitely gearing this towards young people to help them figure out a path, but also adults, and of course more so women, but the men need to love themselves as well. But people who they don't feel happy in their life right now, and in this book it helps them sit down and write and answer some questions inside. What's going to help me to live a happy life? And what can I do to take care of myself and love myself? So that's who it's for.
Realizing your self-love goals, dealing with your past, and forgiveness. Page 55 to 57 there.
55.
54,
okay.
yeah.
Yes, we always need to be setting goals. You know, when you're on the journey of wanting to become a better person, you need to write it out. That's what I've had to do. Write out, what are my self-love goals? You know, how can I improve myself? What do I want out of my relationships?
What about forgiveness and dealing with the past?
Forgiveness. There's a section where I instruct the reader to make a list of people that they need to forgive in order to move on and move forward in their life, and not hold on to bitterness and not be bitter about, you know, I talked about the relationship I had when I was in Arkansas, and we're friends now, but we weren't friends at the time,
at the breakup.
10 years ago,
Sure.
right. We're friends now because I had to go through this process. He said, you need to love yourself. And I said, what are you talking about? I love myself, but I think my actions weren't lining up with that. And so I had to forgive myself. I had to forgive him, seeing that breakup really had purpose.
Okay. So essentially you're saying don't lie to yourself.
Right.
Okay.
Be honest with yourself. And if you want to move forward into a happier life with others, and you want to have a healthy relationship, you have to let go of the past.
Okay. And one other thing says self-love exercise. What is that? That's on page 61,
Page
self-love
61.
exercise. And there's an exercise that you actually go through for self-love.
Yes,
Tell us about it.
exactly. With the self-love exercise, I'm just going to that page
Yes,
here.
it's page 63.
Once again, it's just more and more
61.
questions. You know, and part of the toolkit, you'll have a notebook where you're journaling to yourself. It's just more and more questions. How can I really release the past? What can I do differently in the future to protect myself in relationships with others? And so there's a breathing exercise here where you're reaching deeply inside of yourself and digging up old hurts in the past. Blow it out. Release it.
Leave it alone.
Let it go.
I want to come back and ask you after this break, people who got the book.
Okay.
And how they reacted, and what the reactions you've had from both books, actually.
Okay.
All right. My guest is Dr. Rachel Rivers, and we're here at the New Life Evangelistic Center at 1411 Locust Street in downtown St. Louis, Missouri. And we need your help. We need your support. There's no point in me telling you we don't. We need it very, very desperately, actually. But also, we need some hygienic tools and so forth. We need some people who don't have the money to buy razors and shaving cream, lotions, deodorant, things of that sort. And if you could drop some of those things off here at 1411 Locust Street, it'd be so helpful. And even some things to make sandwiches. You know, Thanksgiving and Christmas, you know, the New Life Evangelistic Center feed the people, and other people feed the people. They make a big deal out of feeding people at Christmas and Thanksgiving. But you know, not only do we do it at Christmas and Thanksgiving, but we do it the day before, and the day after, and the week before, and the week after, and the month before, and the month after. In other words, 365 days a year, they're feeding people here at the New Life Evangelistic Center, and no one is ever turned away. But yet and still, we receive no government grants, no funds, no city funds, no United Way funds, nothing. Everything that are provided through services here at the New Life Evangelistic Center are from gifts from you. They're all tax deductible through Post Office Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri 63166, or online at www.newlifeevangelisticcenter, that's one word, .org. Back with Dr. Ray after this. My guest is Dr. Ray Rivers, Rachel Rivers, Dr. Ray, and she's the author of two wonderful, wonderful books, one called Journey to Self, Journey to Love, and the latest one is called Love Yourself, Love Your Life. And Dr. Ray, once again, let's find out how we can reach you and how we can purchase the book.
Through my website, www.rachelrivers.com. That's Rachel with an E. It is also available on Amazon for people who have Kindle or for the paperback as well. Also, you can contact me through my email address. It's dr.rae31@gmail.com.
Dr. Ray, people who've received the book, who've read the book and so forth, any feedback from them?
Well, this book is brand new,
Okay.
brand new. But with the first book, and these books are in line with each other,
Okay.
the first book, I feel like I sold to more men than women.
Really?
They wanted to get into the mind of a woman.
They had no ulterior motive, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, okay.
But the men and the women who read the book, the first book, they said that it really helped them. It's, you know, there's short stories in there that talk about how you feel about being single, or just how you feel about dating in general, and about yourself and your self-esteem and your confidence. And they said it really helped them in breakup situations that they were going through.
Wow, okay. So you're a young African-American woman, and then you have all these advanced degrees. You didn't have to get these degrees.
Not to do
Although
this.
your mom says that you will be going to college, no doubt about that. But you kept on with your education, and what motivated you to do so?
It was personal fulfillment. Once again, first I had my advisors and mentors telling me, go, go, go and do this because you're smart. So I don't regret going to school, because I've always loved school, even as a little girl. You can ask my cousin. We used to play school all the time. I like the teaching and learning process. I'm a lifelong learner. And so obtaining those, I'm grateful that I did obtain those advanced degrees for the process. And now I'm able to create my own programs to work with young people.
Did your faith play any part in writing these books?
Yes. I mean, this book, I feel like I should have released it 4 years ago when I released the first book. And so I had to go through this process again for myself. And now I feel healed, and I can really teach this message. But at first, I didn't feel like my life was lining up with what I wanted to teach. And so it was definitely a faith walk.
Did you have the knowledge and the confidence of being a writer when you started? You said you started out as a blog, more or less,
Blog,
but then
right.
you wrote the book and created the book. But did you have the confidence in you that you could write this and promote this?
Yes, because I always enjoyed writing, even as a little girl. And even I talk a little bit in this book about when I was in college, I was trying to decide on my major. And so I've always loved writing. And when I look back at my transcripts, I excelled more in writing.
You know, it's exciting because you're another female author that I've had on recently. In fact, in the past year, I've had at least 24 authors
Wow.
on, and half of them at least female. And I'm so glad to say you, Dr. Once again, we have 30 seconds left. How can they reach you again?
www.rachelrivers.com. I'm on all social media, Dr. Ray Love Coach. My email address is dr.rae31@gmail.com.
And Facebook, how can they reach you on Facebook?
Facebook, I'm Dr. Ray Love Coach.
Dr. Ray Love Coach.
Yes, Love Coach.
R-A-E, Dr. R-A-E.
R-A-E.
Okay, on Facebook. Thank you so much, Dr. Ray. And I want to thank each and every one of you for viewing with us today, too. We're here at the New Life Evangelistic Center with 1411 Locust Street in downtown St. Louis, Missouri. And we encourage you to come by and just to see what we're doing here. It's more than just a homeless shelter. There's so many, many other things. I mean, so many different programs and so many different people and so many different needs. And we need your help and support. Come by, visit us here at the New Life Evangelistic Center, 1411 Locust Street, downtown St. Louis, Missouri. I'm Bernie Hayes. Thank you so much for viewing. See you next time.